Yeah, Brandon. So, as a senior, the coaches have mentioned the ability of this offensive line to rotate. What have you seen as a leader out of your guys up front that makes that possible? What allows you to maintain that chemistry?
I think it's a lot of old guys helping young guys. I mean, we have people like Jonah Jackson, who's just gotten into this program, but yeah, he still has the knowledge and ability to help the younger players. I help the younger players. Josh Myers will help the younger players. Um, it's just really bringing along those guys and getting them up to our level and our level of play so that they can go in the game and not miss a beat.
Front row right, Austin.
Brandon, can you describe what the emotions have been like for you, or what they might be like on Saturday after all you've been through to potentially be starting out there?
It's definitely emotional. I mean, just seeing the news a few minutes ago, it was hard, I guess, not to break down and cry because it's been a long road. It's definitely been very, very difficult. Something I've never even thought about dealing with prior, but it's good. I mean, I'm happy I went through it. It's made me a much better person, a much better player, and a much better man. And yeah, so I'm excited.
When you had the setback last year and this additional surgery, did you think that you could get back to this point?
Yeah. I was confident in our training staff, specifically Stu. You know, he's helped a lot of great players get back to where they need to be, and I was also confident in my coaching staff of keeping believing in me and just getting me back up to that point where I was.
Far left, Lori.
Have they continued the tradition here of calling the family when you earn a starting job?
Yes, I have.
Has your family received that phone call, and could you talk to us about what happened if that did take place?
They have not yet. This is the first, I guess, news I'd heard of that I'm starting, I guess. So.
You want to call him down?
Thank you.
Dan?
Brandon, just when you think about the things you had to deal with over this past year and a half, when you think now to going into Saturday, just what do you think that's going to be like for you to finally be back on the field for the first time since last October?
Definitely very emotional, but I think it's gonna help a lot. I mean, I'm not gonna be thinking about the nerves and all that. I'm just gonna be thinking about how grateful I am to be back and to be back on that field, run out of the tunnel with my brothers, and be able to play in that atmosphere again.
Does it make you play with an extra level of fire, maybe, knowing that, hey, this is my last year, this is my last chance, and I almost had this taken away from me?
Absolutely. I mean, missing the time that I did. Well, first of all, having the time that I did to start, and then having that taken away from me through an injury was eye-opening. It really gives you a different perspective on how important it is to value your time that you have. And so going into this year, I think I value everything and everybody around me a lot more.
Front row right, Bill.
Did you really just find out when Ryan Day announced it?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Officially, yeah.
Where were you?
I think, down in the massage chairs down the hall.
Okay, so that's how you heard.
Yeah.
Okay. And you were competing against Nick, who's obviously a great player, 5-star recruit and all that.
Right.
How did you approach that competition?
I mean, it's just it's really beneficial to have a player like that to go against every day because not only do you have the Chase Youngs, the Jonathan Coopers to go against, but you also have your own unit mates. You have Nick Petit, and we constantly push each other to make each other better, and I think that made us both better than we could have ever imagined.
Second row left, Ari.
Brandon, you have a family now.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering, having a family when you're going through this and having a fiance and a child, are the stakes higher to get back? When you think, I have a family I want to provide for now.
Right.
What did that dynamic do for you and your motivation and
Right.
just kind of this journey to getting back to this position?
The stakes are definitely higher, but at the same time, the support system is also a lot better, in my opinion, at least. Having my fiance to go home to and my son to, look up at me every night. At the same time as there's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of support there as well. So it's kind of balanced itself out. It hasn't been too much on me or anything like that, but it definitely helps a lot.
And then when you're going through a competition where you're finally back to being healthy, and a lot of people are saying, hey, this 5-star kid that's coming in is going to be the starter. Do you ever just think, forget that, like, I'm already a starter? I've already been a starter. This is my job. Like, I mean, how do you process that?
I mean, it's just a whole different mindset. I mean, it's my senior year. I know what it takes to start here. I know what it takes to play at the level of an Ohio State offensive lineman, and it's just coming in every day with a good attitude and ready to compete.
Front row middle, Joey.
Is there an area you feel like you've improved the most on the field?
I'd probably say my attitude. A lot of players tend to get down on themselves when something bad happens or something like that. But I've over the past couple years, I've been able to really learn that something bad happens, shake it off, next play, and I've also been able to help my other offensive linemen with that mindset as well. So I'd probably say my attitude.
Front row right, Tim.
Yeah, Brandon, how deep is this offensive line group? You've been around here for a while now and stuff. I'm talking about by depth. I mean, guys that can play. Can you name a couple of guys that people haven't even really paid much attention to yet who might see some action? And number two, what makes y'all good, you think, as a group coming out of camp?
One of the names I'd probably say is Gavin Cupp. You know, he's battled through a lot, especially in this preseason. I mean, he's had some small nagging stuff, no major injury or anything like that. But just to see him battle every day and come with the attitude that he does, it's helps a lot just for us, because it brings up the attitude of the whole O-line. So definitely, I would say Gavin Cupp. And then what I think is going to make us best as a group is just our chemistry. The O-line room this year has a really different feel that I haven't been around. You know, we're all really good friends. We can all hang out. We all get together at, say, like Josh Meyer's house or something like that. But we're all really close, and we have been close in the past, but I don't think we have to this level.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people think of an offensive line as almost like a baseball glove, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But Jonah Jackson comes in, and like you guys have all talked about your chemistry. Well, here's a guy that you would think would mess up the chemistry. I mean,
Right.
everybody's been waiting their chance.
Right.
How well has he melded into the group, I guess? And have you been even maybe a little surprised by how y'all have all gotten along?
I'm absolutely surprised. I mean, coming in, I don't think I could have realized how much or how well he would have gelled into the group as he does now. And, you know, it's really easy for him to gel into a group because of his maturity, his leadership level. You know, obviously he was a captain at Rutgers, everything like that. So having someone like that on the O-line is very beneficial, and so it hasn't been a problem becoming friends with him, I guess.
Got time for two more questions. Far left, Joe.
Another guy who's dealt with injuries was Thayer Mumford from last season. How have you seen him coming back this fall, and how important is he to the success of this offense?
He's hungry. I mean, that's, I guess, the biggest word I'd use to describe him. He absolutely has had a fire to get back because he's been out, and it's pushed him every day to get better and to get back to where he needed to be.
And front row left, Nathan.
You mentioned before, I mean, the last time you won a starting job, you were a guard. Coach Wilson was just in here talking about there used to be a big man package, I think, where you were playing some tight end even. Yeah. So those past experiences, how have they made you a better tackle?
It's just really versatile. I mean, guard, you have to it's really a lot of brute strength, I guess. You're pushing around 300-pound guys, whereas on the outside, it's not necessarily that much. And then when I'm playing tight end package, I'm blocking mostly DNs, linebackers, stuff like that. So it's kind of brought together a perfect mixture of using brute strength along with footwork and good hands. So it's kind of helping me melt everything together into a